What if I told you Africa is not missing from the Bible? What if Africa is not even missing from the book of Revelation? What if Africa has a big role during end times and it's hidden from you? From the Garden of Eden to people standing before the throne of God, Africa appears again and again. This is not just history, it's prophecy. Today, we unpack Africa's role for God's final plan. Let's go. Africa in the book of Revelation. Yes, Africa is in the book of Revelation. What is Africa? Prophetic destiny in the end times. So, everyone is talking about end times, but what's the role of Africa in end times? 1. Kings from the south. Revelation 16:12. Allies from beyond Israel will play a role in the final battle. This is the final battle known as Armageddon. 2. The wealth of nations. Revelation 21:24-26. Africa's treasures will enter the sanctified New Jerusalem. Of course, you see Ethiopia here. And of course, Ethiopia and Egypt will align together. During end times. They will form an alliance. Throughout Old Testament, we see this prophecy that is a dual prophecy that is coming to pass. It's not done yet. It will come to pass again. So now, Africa's spiritual battle in the last days. This is what we have to fight right now as we speak. Because as you remember, we do not fight or wrestle against the flesh and blood, but spirits in higher places. So we will see, or we have seen, we are even still seeing false prophets who deceive. They call themselves apostles, pastors, bishops, and so forth. But they just deceive. Take heed, no man deceives you by any means. Remember? That's what Yeshua HaMashiach the Christ warned people, especially Africans. 2. You will see corruption in operation. The gospel will be forbidden. Yes, we are entering that time. It's yet to come. But once you start seeing corruption, which is there already, operation, then people will find it very hard to get to the gospel, because in the times ahead, it's going to be hard to read the Bible. The last but not the least, tribes, ethnic conflicts. Do you see it across Africa? Yes, in so many African countries, we see this day in and out. So now let's read Psalm 68:31. Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God. So African people, Ethiopia, and all African countries are going to return to God. So we need to return to God so that we are going to overcome our all battles and struggles. That's what we need. We need to return to God. Africa is not poor. Africa turned its back to God, and now we are paying the price, but we have to return. So now Africa revival in end times. So millions of people, Africans, are going to accept Christ, and they are going to start praying day in, day out, 24/7. That's what we need. Now, let's see how Africa is not missing from the Bible, not from the book of Revelation. Let's see how we are there from the very beginning. If you want to know the end, you always have to go to the beginning. Hallelujah.
Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to discuss Africa in the book of Revelation. If you are new here, please subscribe and hit that like button. For centuries, the book of Revelation has been read as a global prophecy. But what if Africa has a specific hidden role in this final chapter of history? From ancient references to Kush and Ethiopia to the nations gathered before the throne, The fingerprints of Africa are right there in the last book of the Bible. Today, we uncover Africa's place in the Revelation timeline and its prophetic destiny in the end times.
Africa in God's eternal plan. Genesis 2 verses 10 to 13 describes the Garden of Eden surrounded by rivers that flow into lands like Kush, an ancient African region. From the beginning of time, Africa has been part of God's redemptive story. In Revelation, this plan culminates as every tribe, tongue, and nation gathers before the Lamb. Revelation 7 verse 9. Africa is not excluded. Instead, its nations stand among the redeemed, worshiping the King of Kings.
Prophetic hints of Africa in Revelation. 1. The kings of the East and South. Revelation 16 verse 12 prophecy suggests that nations beyond Israel, including parts of Africa, will play strategic roles in the final battles. 2. The wealth of nations. Revelation 21 verses 24 to 26. Africa's resources and treasures will be brought into the New Jerusalem, sanctified for God's glory. 3. Ethiopia and Egypt in prophecy. Linked with Revelation 11 verse 15, these nations appear repeatedly in the Old Testament as part of end-time alignments that Revelation echoes.
Africa's spiritual battle in the last. Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us, "We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers." Before the final victory, Africa faces false prophets and deception. Matthew 24 verse 24. Corruption and oppression to stop the gospel. Tribal and ethnic conflicts planted by the enemy. These are strategies of darkness to keep Africa from taking its prophetic seat among the nations in Revelation's fulfillment.
Africa's revival and role in the end. Psalm 68 verse 31. Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God. We are already seeing massive revival movements across Africa, millions accepting Christ, missionary waves being sent from Africa to the world, and 24/7 prayer altars interceding for nations. This awakening is no accident. Revelation points to a global church, and Africa will be a frontline warrior in this final harvest. The Lion of Africa is rising, ready to roar in victory under the banner of the Lion of Judah.
Africa, your name is in prophecy. Your nations will stand before the throne, clothed in white robes, holding palm branches of victory. Revelation 7 verse 9. No darkness can erase what God has written. The book of Revelation promises Africa a place in eternity's greatest moment. Will you be ready when the Lamb calls your name? Revelation 22 verse 12. Behold, I am coming soon, bringing my reward with me.
If you agree with this message, please hit the like button, subscribe, and comment. Africa is part of God's final plan. Africa time is now. Share this message and let every nation know Africa has a prophetic role in the last days.